You go to bed. The room is quiet, the lights are off, your body exhausted. But the second you close your eyes, your brain clocks in. Old mistakes, imaginary arguments, and tomorrow's anxieties rush in all at once. This is overthinking. It's a repetitive mental loop that plays the same scene on repeat. You are trapped inside a movie of your own thoughts, searching for an exit that isn't there. This state takes a physical toll. It leads to persistent insomnia, constant fatigue, and a steady decline in your ability to trust your own judgment. Even without physical labor, you wake up feeling mentally spent. Modern life accelerates this. We are paralyzed by too many choices, and we constantly measure our daily struggles against the curated perfection we see on social media. To stop this, we need a specific 3-step mental circuit breaker. This is a framework designed to interrupt these patterns the moment they start and force a transition into action. Learning to interrupt these loops is how you stop the drain on your daily energy and reclaim your focus. Let's start with a diagnostic step. Bring one specific issue you are currently stressing over to the front of your mind. Hold it there. That anxiety likely falls into one of 2 specific time traps: rumination, which pulls you into the past, or worrying, which pulls you into the future. If your anxiety is anchored in the past, you are ruminating. Your brain is trying to endlessly rewrite historical scenarios, like an awkward conversation or a missed opportunity, that can no longer be changed. On the other side is worrying. This arrow pulls you forward, forcing your brain to react to worst-case scenarios that haven't actually happened yet. As these forces pull in opposite directions, the center point vanishes. This tension erases your current reality, leaving you to fight phantoms in a time that doesn't exist. Identifying which direction your brain is pulling is the first step toward anchoring yourself back to the present moment. Often, these loops are fueled by perfectionism. This mindset creates analysis paralysis by convincing you that you can't act until every variable is solved. Your brain uses the need for a perfect outcome as a defense mechanism. If you never finish the planning phase, you never have to face the risk of taking a real action. Method 1 is to intentionally lower your execution bar. The goal is to make the required actions so simple that your brain can no longer justify staying in the planning loop. If you've been overthinking a new project, stop the research. Grab your phone, hit record, and film a raw 10-second clip right now. Progress depends on physical momentum, not perfect planning. Starting messily is often the only way to start at all. Another driver of overthinking is the attempt to manage unpredictable outcomes or other people's thoughts. This is the control illusion. When you try to decode why someone hasn't replied to a message, you create a stress cycle for an equation you cannot solve. You are trying to influence variables that are outside your reach. Method 2 involves physically mapping the boundary between the controllable and the uncontrollable. We start on the left with everything outside your influence. Other people's reactions, the weather, and final outcomes go here. These are locked variables. Thinking about them further provides zero data. Now look at the right column. This is where your effort and your response live. These are the only areas where your thinking can actually produce a result. You cannot control the weather, but the moment you choose to carry an umbrella, your focus returns to the choices you actually have. Our brains also suffer from a negative bias. This is an evolutionary trait that forces us to amplify mistakes and ignore successes to protect us from perceived danger. If you have 10 positive interactions and 1 negative interaction today, your brain will naturally isolate that single negative point. Your brain treats a minor social mistake with the same biological alarm it once used for physical threats. The one negative event expands until it hides all the evidence of your progress. Method 3 is to fact-check your inner critic. For every negative thought that starts a loop, force yourself to write down 3 positive, objective realities about your situation. Manually feeding your brain this data is how you deactivate a false alarm system that is no longer serving you. Methodical. Here is the framework for future use. Step 1. Diagnose your time trap. Step 2. Take imperfect action. Step 3. Fact-check the uncontrollable. Overthinking is a learned behavior, a mental pattern that has simply become your default response to stress. Because it is a habit, it can be unlearned. Consistent use of these tools trains your brains to prioritize action over analysis. Direct. Pick one decision you have been delaying, lower the bar for what success looks like, and take one imperfect action on it within the next 5 minutes. Mental clarity isn't about eliminating every anxious thought. It's about refusing to let those thoughts stop your forward motion. Overthinking is a mechanical failure in your mental operating system. It occurs when your brain lacks a clear life direction and begins manufacturing distractions to fill the void. Instead of just discussing anxiety, we are going to build a physical solution. Over the next 6 minutes, we are constructing an overthinking detox tracking sheet. This sheet is a functional tool designed to categorize your fears, manage daily stress levels, and force immediate physical action. To follow this system, you need to build it as we go. Please grab a pen and a blank piece of paper right now. As long as a thought stays internal, your brain must use active energy to keep that thought looping. By moving that thought to a physical page, you break that cycle, turning a vague, heavy anxiety into a static object that can be analyzed and managed. At the very top of your paper, write down one single clear goal you want to achieve today. This target acts as your ikigai, or purpose. Without it, your brain wastes energy on the opinions of others or minor inconveniences. With a clear target, that same energy is channeled into a single, productive direction. A clear goal provides direction, but the concept of wu-wei, or effortless action, determines how you handle the friction that occurs while pursuing it. Think of a swimmer in a river. You can fight every incoming wave and exhaust yourself, or move forward by gliding with the current. In daily life, this means accepting unexpected outcomes. When a plan fails, you can waste hours frustrated by the loss of control, or you can accept the new situation and simply focus on the next move. Purpose determines your destination, while the flow of wu-wei provides the mental peace required to keep moving toward it. Below your goal, draw 2 vertical columns. Label the first nutrition check and the second digital detox. Your nervous system relies on specific chemistry to stay stable. Deficiencies in magnesium and vitamin B12 directly impair your ability to regulate thoughts, which often leads to heightened anxiety. When you combine afternoon caffeine with late-night screen time, your energy levels stay elevated long after they should have dropped. This keeps your brain in an artificial, overstimulated state well into the night. To fix this, you must turn your phone completely off 1 hour before bed. This removal of blue light and digital input allows your brain to finally return to a baseline for recovery. Without these physical boundaries, you end up awake at 3 a.m. Since your logical reasoning mind is mostly inactive at that hour, small concerns are often exaggerated into massive, uncontrollable spirals. Because the mind and body operate as a single system, you must stabilize your physical chemistry before you can effectively silence mental chatter. Now, draw a third column on your sheet and label it 5-second rule triggers. This tool is designed for the moment you feel hesitation, the split second your brain begins finding reasons to delay a necessary task. To disrupt that loop, count backward. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. On the count of 1, you must take a physical action, like standing up or opening your laptop. This creates immediate movement before your mind can finalize a new excuse. Waiting to feel motivated is often a trap. In many cases, you must force a physical activation to generate the momentum you're waiting for. By taking that first physical step, you have already bypassed the mental resistance that usually keeps you stuck in a cycle of hesitation. At the bottom of your page, draw a large box and label it the worry matrix. Perform a brain dump here. Write down every active fear or task currently occupying your mind to clear your mental RAM. Now, look at each item and ask one question. Is this in my control? If the answer is yes, write down one concrete step you can take today to resolve it. If the answer is no, cross it out. You are making a conscious decision to stop engaging with that thought, as worrying provides no practical benefit. While you cannot influence every external event, you have authority over where you allocate your internal attention. You now have your daily goal, your physical health checks, your action triggers, and your logical filters all on one page. This system works because it shifts your role. You are no longer a passive observer of every thought that enters your head. You are now an active manager of your own attention. Thinking about a problem will never achieve what a simple moment of action can. Take that first step now. If this system helped you, subscribe for more practical tools, and tell me in the comments, What is the one thing you are going